Hi everyone, my name is Alyssa Goodeaux and I'm a connection coach. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that people pleasing, God pleasing mindset that we all have and how that can really impact us. So a lot of y'all know about my health journey with what I'm going through, the diagnosis and the illness that I'm having. It all comes back to anxiety. And so it's such a simple way of putting it, but there's just this really big picture going on behind it. So when I was growing up, I was a really I've always just been a really deeply feeling person. Um, I was the kid that would hide behind their mom all the time, like super shy, super sensitive to things, wanted to be friends with everybody. Like I every chance that I got, I wanted to give someone a gift, like just like that kid that everybody was like, "Oh, she's so sweet." Like I was that kid. And it didn't change when I got older, but I heard over and over and over these different messages so much when I was growing up and even as an adult. You're too sensitive, you're naive, you need to be tougher, just like all of this stuff that made me like really self-conscious. And so now to the point where, like, if I feel an emotion, I feel it to the core of my being, into my soul. And it's like if I feel it, it just gets stuck. My whole body gets stuck with this emotion, and my throat physically like closes up, and I cannot express myself. I can't express myself through words. Thoughts are even hard sometimes to put together. And sometimes, like, all my body can do is just like make sounds. As weird as that probably is. Like, just like if I cry, it's like this moaning kind of thing. Or if I'm frustrated, all I can do is like, like growl or something, like it's it's just very nonverbal. And it's just because there's no room for anything else to get out. It's just my body is just like trying so hard to express itself, and it's the only way that it's capable of doing it because I'm just too amped into this motion. And so as as an adult, to you start to play around with these concepts, right? Of like, how did I get here? What got me here and what can I do to overcome it? And so I want to be clear, like all of these things that the people were telling me, it's not that they were doing wrong. They were genuinely concerned that the emotions that I was having were going to cloud my judgment and they were going to get me hurt. So it's not coming from a place of ill intent, but it's just not something that was well received by me as someone who didn't understand how to use it to better myself. So instead of embracing who I am as a person and leaning into these feelings, but also managing them in a healthy way, I stuffed them down and found ways of leaning into the logical side of myself. And in a way, it balanced me. It was a necessary balancing act, right? We have to have logic with emotions. We all and a lot of times it's not necessarily that we need both. There's usually some fluctuation of times when you need more emotion and times when you need more logic. Like there's always like that flux and flow going on. It's a beautiful process. But if you're just suppressing your emotions rather than allowing them to be expressed in a healthy way, that's whenever you start having problems. So I want to emphasize this is a beautiful thing about his kingdom. We are all very, very different. We all strive to be righteous as he was righteous. And there's definitely some discipline that comes with that. But embracing who you are is so much more effective for his kingdom because we need people like me who are really sensitive and really creative and play into emotions a lot. And there are benefits to that. It's not celebrated a lot because it's seen as some kind of weakness somehow. But we need those characteristics. They're valued and they're human. he didn't make it in error. He didn't make us this way because they're a defect, right? Um, and even if they are a defect at times, he still loves us anyway. It's not something it's not something wicked, so to speak. Our actions can be wicked. Um, but the beautiful thing is that we have people who are creative and emotional and sensitive and all these beautiful things. And we also have people who are logical and practical and cut and dry. And that's something to celebrate as well. And the beautiful thing is that we need all types and colors of people. And if you're struggling with this, I just want to invite you to start embracing that more. Whoever you are, whatever your coloring is, whether people are like, oh, you're so boring because you're just so practical and cut and dry, or they're like, oh, you're too sensitive, you need to really, tone it down. Yes, there are healthy ways of being both of them and unhealthy ways of being both of them. So make sure you're balancing yourself and working to always express yourself healthily and having good relationships and allowing yourself to experience both parts of yourself because they're both necessary. But don't stuff who you are down because it's not just me who has these stuck things. Anytime you start suppressing those things, that your body remembers it. And whether that's in an illness, whether that's in angry outbursts, whether that's in whatever it is in your life, it will come out. It's just a matter of time before it explodes, right? So celebrate who you are because he does. And that's not always something that we remember because we're so busy telling ourselves that we have to be better. We have to, we're these awful, sinful people and we're these, just all these awful things. We love to beat up on ourselves and we love to beat up on each other. But really, we're all just trying to figure it out and we're all just doing our best. And that's really what we need to remember. And it's okay to embrace who you are. And the sooner that you do it, the more fun you're going to have and the more that you're going to bring his kingdom to other people in a better, more fulfilled way. Because then other people will be able to celebrate themselves as well whenever they see that you're doing it. So, anyway, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.